Yo, is it Hope time?
Apparently.
I love Hope, dude. Holy shit.
That shit, it's like ecstasy. Nagito Komaeda?
Alright, so let me introduce the fine guests we have today. Of course, we have Taco, who you may know from Figuring Out Fetishes.
Hello.
And then we have a special new guest, Yuki, who is pretty much the one who encouraged me to play Danganronpa 2. So I have her on as a special guest.
And I'm also don't speak English, so hi.
You totally speak English.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I will not. I hope I can talk a lot, but maybe I will stay quiet since I don't. I kind of get nervous. So, and also my English is breaking. So yeah, hi.
All right, sick. So we're here to talk about a very special boy, Mr. Nagito Komaeda. You could describe him as special.
I mean, that's certainly one way to fucking describe him.
And he's indeed special. So
he's very special. So I guess let's start. I'm sure we all kind of heard. I don't know when you played Danganronpa, Yuki. Danganronpa 2 specifically, when you first played it.
The first Danganronpa wasn't even out on the beta yet.
Mm-hmm.
It was a fun translation with the PSP.
Yeah, that's how I played Danganronpa 1.
Yeah, it's the best way to play it since the subtitles and the English translation is better than the official one. So I played. Well, not. I didn't really play the first time the Danganronpa 2 because back then it wasn't even out yet. Like the fine translation wasn't even out yet. So there's this forum that they post all the like the dialogue, all the story and everything, and the how is it called, the cases, like the debates and everything was on video with subtitles.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone that wanted to know the Danganronpa 2 needed to read these forums and also watch these videos because the Japanese game didn't go out until the beta era. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I didn't play it the first time, but then when the beta version came out, I tried to play it, but not really because the game forced me so much to play it once again. So, but yeah, I know the story. I read the story. And everything. So yeah, it was like back in 2013, I think.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's how a lot of the old guard Danganronpa fans, in the West, I mean, first kind of experienced it was through a lot of Tumblr blogs and translations and stuff.
Yeah, it was fun. It was really fun, but it also was kind of a mess. But it was fun. The feeling kept was there, so I suffered a lot about the chapter 5 and cried a lot and got into even more depressed state for weeks. So yeah, it was fun. It was really fun.
So, I don't know about either of y'all, but before I played Danganronpa 2, I kind of had this vision of what Komaeda was going to be like in my mind that was not at all what he ended up being. I don't know if that's the case for either of you.
Really?
Okay. I'd say he nearly fit what I expected. I knew he was probably. I've heard enough about Nagito and Junko to know that they were these crazy bitches that are in so many memes. But Nagito, I expected him to be a lot more standard.
Yeah,
psycho.
more normal.
No, not normal. I knew he'd be crazy, but no, him being normal is what threw me off. Nagito's crazy, yeah, but 90% of the time he acts like the most casual person ever. And that's what really makes him fucking weird to me.
Yeah. See, my kind of vision of Komaeda in my skull was all I really had to go off of was memes of the dude, and the meme with him was always hope, yeah? So
yeah.
I was expecting him to be more kind of like Naegi, but just the hope factor was taken to another extreme, and he would be this lovable dude that's always really optimistic and happy, and he would just be a fun guy, and that's why everybody likes him. And then he's actually a terrorist. He's not
a terrorist. Like he's pretty much like kind of the opposite. He's like the way I always see Danganronpa 2 versus 1 is they really tried to do the opposite of what the first game was. Like Junko was all about spreading despair in people by giving them like hope in a way, and Nagito like tries to give people hope by giving them despair, and he fucking sees it as the most justified thing in the world, and he doesn't fucking care what anyone thinks.
Yeah, that's the thing that's so interesting. Like, I think that the mark of a really well-made, like, insane character is that they don't think they're insane. Like, they think what they're doing is fine. Like, Kira Yoshikage just, like, cuts off hands and doesn't pay much mind to it. Like, I think whenever a character is supposed to be crazy and people play up the whole, I'm crazy thing, like with the Joker and Batman, it doesn't work as well. It has to feel like this, like, he just thinks this is fine. Like, what he's doing is normal.
I mean, Nagito never specified he liked doing any of the things he does. He always says he dislikes it, but he thinks it's something he has to do.
Yeah.
Because it'll just make things better when it does. Did he? I don't even know. He kind of helped in some ways. He's easily like the smartest character in that game.
Some roundabout way, they like actually kind of won because of Komaeda.
Yeah, technically. I mean, he also fucked up a lot of shit, but
dude, he fucked up so many things.
I'll say he's easily the biggest factor in the second half of that game being so entertaining.
Oh, for sure. I would say he's like just the biggest factor of the whole game, which is what I think is so interesting. Because like I said before, he's not the dude I was expecting him to be. And that, like, threw me for a loop the whole game. Because the first chapter is just, he's like this nice guy, he's helping you solve the case. So, the mental image I kind of developed of him is he's going to be, like, Naegi and Kirigiri kind of mixed together. To where he has the Naegi, yeah, hope is good, sort of thing. And then he's got, like, the Kirigiri, I'm helpful detective guy. And he's kind of that, but he's just a fucking madman.
He just reminded me of fucking Karu from fucking Ava.
Yeah, I see that.
Plus, I think he's voiced by Shinji in Japanese, so that's that. I mean, he did seem really normal at first, and then you get that fucking laugh, the meme laugh, and fucking at the end of the middle of case 1. I did expect Nagito to, I knew after that trial, like, I didn't know when it would happen, that once they gave him, like, a proper trial, it'd be the most, like, mind-bending shit ever, which was chapter 5. I mean, it's clear even the fucking writers like Nagito a lot. They even gave him a fucking... He just runs the show so much.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, to the point where even in chapter 4, during fucking Gundam's case, they literally couldn't solve it without asking him for advice.
Yeah, like, despite how weird and insane his philosophy is, he is actually a very intelligent person, which is kind of the strange thing, is that he's got such a weird outlook on life, but he's like a smart dude.
But he's also very judgmental when it comes to...
Oh, completely.
Like, just like how he sees everything as, like, right, or the way he views things as right, he also would just disregard you if you do not follow his, like, perfect mindset. Like, how he saw everyone as, like, amazing, hopeful people, and then when he found out they were all despair-ridden, he just didn't give a shit and tried to kill them all. Other than fucking Chiaki. Chapter 5. I still think about that fucking chapter to this day. I just can't believe they wrote that shit.
Chapter 5 is fucking absolutely fascinating.
Like, the idea that you'd go so far for your ideals that you'd, like, pseudo-kill yourself.
Dude, he tortured himself.
He tortured himself.
To create a more interesting mystery.
He wanted... It's not after he tortured himself. He tortured himself in a way that it made it so someone else killed him.
Yeah.
And it made it seem like someone else did it. And what? How he held a fucking spear up to his stomach while having, like, all his limbs cut, and I don't know. And it's fucking all based off of his fucking luck, which is, that's just anime BS, but...
Remember when he was playing Russian roulette in the fucking, in the 4th chapter? And he misunderstands it, and instead of, like, leaving one bullet in, he takes out one? So he has a 1 in 6 chance of surviving?
That was the edgiest shit in the game, until, like...
I know, it was so edgy!
Like, what the fuck? But then, like, a chapter later, he one-ups himself. Like, oh... he really that's because he really doesn't care about himself at all. Like, I guess even when he's hating everybody else in chapter 5, he still has like everyone else rather than himself, his own interest in mind. He thinks he's the most just person ever, and that no one, like, even what, like, he's a very self-deprecating person. But
oh yeah, he treats himself like shit.
But the one thing he's like confident in is his own opinion on how things should be done.
Yeah, it's a very interesting kind of like bipolar outlook on life, because on one hand he's like, I'm trash, I'm garbage, there's nothing redeemable about me, and then on the other hand he's like, I'm so lucky, dude, I'm a fucking god. Like which one is it, dude?
I guess what's so interesting about him is like how much he really believes his own bullshit, and how far he'll go to like showcase that.
Maybe because the like he feels that he's so trash, like how can you say it? The perfect minion, the perfect stone, so the other guy is with better like skills on the school can use him as a bait or something. I think he also say that sometime in the game.
Oh yeah, they do. He does mention he wants to be like a stepping stone. Well, he doesn't just want himself to be a stepping stone. He wants to create like multiple stepping stones for people to eventually. That's such a weird way to think about things. Like, he's trying to create hope by like destroying what they have, because they feel like there's nothing more hopeful than, I don't know, finding a way out of a hopeless looking situation. He's so fucking weird. I mean, there are even points in fucking Danganronpa 2 where I forget how psycho he is, and I like start rooting for him, because you kind of can't help but like him, in a sense.
Yeah, it's very weird. It's like, even if you sit there and you think this guy is evil and what he's doing is like objectively wrong, you can't help but be like, okay, yeah, like, let's see what Komaeda's gonna do next.
Like, I remember in chapter 3, like Mikan's chapter, at the beginning of it, I was like, this guy is a fucking asshole, and he's kind of like messing with you, because like the first thing he says is, oh, what if fucking Hajime did it? Because he has no witnesses, and you're like, why have you done this? Nobody was thinking this. Why have you done this? But then you realize, oh wait, that's entirely logical. And then by the end of it, I'm fucking hyped seeing this man corner Mikan. Like, okay, he wants to kill us all, but he's also fucking destroying her right now, and that's really fucking cool. And plus, she was like something you don't realize till the end of the game, because she was like an ultimate despair like the other ones. That's the reason why he was so like pissed about the idea of her trying to survive. Like, that's the only character in the game who he did, well, other than Gundam, but that's because he knew about the ultimate despair shit. Mikan was like the only person, like, you can visibly see he really did not want to win, and that got me kind of hyped.
Yeah, he has this very I don't know how to put it, this very like survival of the fittest kind of outlook on life, to where he will actively go and fuck with people and like try to kill them if it makes them stronger and makes them into like his image of hope.
Oh yeah, in one of the social events, I think he said like, I have this disease, mental disease or something. So, but he also says that no, it's just a joke. So he looks like he has some mental issues, of course, but who knows? He's really strange. I don't know if. Uh-huh.
I have seen a lot of people go in expecting Nagito to be very like Makoto-like, which makes sense because he is the ultimate. Like, they treat it as a very small thing, and it is like definitely a very different thing. Him being the ultimate lucky student, because it didn't mean dick in fucking Danganronpa 1, but with Nagito it meant so much more. But there is a lot of like the hints at Nagito being like an inverse Makoto in a way. Like, for one, Makoto and fucking Nagi and Komaeda Nagito, those are fucking scrambled up versions of each other. Fucking, I think. Don't fucking quote me on that if I'm wrong.
I'm pretty positive it is.
It actually says in the art book, it says that we create Komaeda because we wanted to do like an Aegi kind of character, but it was to be like a twisted Naegi kind of thing. Like how if the hope that Naegi has, but to an extreme. So I think that's the reason why they create Komaeda.
I mean, they even share voice actors.
Oh
Both
yeah,
in English and Japanese. They both shared voice actors.
Did you play the Danganronpa 2 game in Japanese or in English?
I played the first game in English and the second one in Japanese.
And you, Nick?
I've played both of the ones I've played in Japanese.
Okay, the bomb shit. The bomb.
Dude, that was the most elaborate multi-part scheme.
The fact that
with the bombs.
Yeah, I guess he is a terrorist.
Dude, Komaeda's actually a master of psychological manipulation.
The fact that you made a bomb scare to set up your own murder, and he still had one actually go off, which was like the craziest shit ever. Like, okay, in V3, all I'm gonna say is that there is a character that's certainly gets compared to Nagito a lot, and I do think that character is very good. I don't think he had as big of an impact as Nagito did, but they're kind of similar, but also very different. They play similar roles, I'll say. I sometimes struggle to wonder if I think Chapter 5 is better than Chapter 6, because that chapter is fucking some shit. I'm not gonna forget that chapter for a while.
I think Chapter 5 is my favorite, just because of how fucking, insane it is, but how it all kind of makes a weird sense. Because it's all just Komaeda's big plan, right? And somehow he gets it to work. Like, he gets a bomb, and he sets up a bomb threat, and then he's like, yeah, I'm gonna blow up the whole fucking island. You better find these bombs. So that he can lure them into the same spot, so that he can not kill himself, but set up a situation where they throw poison at him, and kill him, and sets up the perfect unsolvable murder.
And make sure it's
so he can get either them all killed or the traitor killed. He's a fucking mad genius.
His fucking luck is so lucky that only a very specific person is the one to kill him. Like, oh my god. Thing is, with a bomb threat, you really do believe it. Like
Oh yeah. Like, it's a silly thing in retrospect to think he can blow up 5 or 6 little islands like that, because that's just not something most people are capable of.
But with Nagito, you believe it because he's done crazy shit before, and he really makes it sound like it's something he could actually do, especially considering he already set off one. But, as we know, he only has the one, but I don't know if I would put it behind Nagito to actually blow up the island.
If he had the capacity to do it, I think he probably would have.
I'd like to think the only reason he didn't do it, the only reason he wouldn't do it if he had the capacity to do it is because of probably Chiaki, because he doesn't want to kill someone who he considers hopeful, I guess, or considered the only hope. Okay, we know Nagito isn't willing to kill someone who's hopeful, but I guess if there's only one hopeful person left, he wouldn't kill them.
Yeah.
So I'd like to think that's the reason why he probably wouldn't have actually done that.
Yeah, because his, outlook is that it's fine if I kill 15 hopes, as long as the 16th, best hope is still around.
Even that even includes himself. He doesn't care about his own fucking well-being.
Yeah, he doesn't give a shit about himself. He just thinks he's this weird stepping stone, but he's also kind of yeah, if I could become the ultimate hope, that'd be cool.
Because even he saw himself as despair, and he I don't know, the idea of even jotting down yourself as the list of people to kill off for the sake of hope, just says a lot about where he plans to go with his bullshit. Even when Akito's not doing anything for most of the game, he's still running the trials because he's the smartest person there and helping you. Yeah. Kind of.
Yeah, it's him, Chiaki, and Hinata are that's the actually trying to figure out the case crew.
Yeah, pretty much. And even when he's not doing anything, he's always kind of menacing, finding, they even fucking tied him up and threw him in a warehouse. We cannot keep him around. And even when he's tied up, he's messing with Hajime, oh, you come to feed little old me? Please. This is looks like the start of a doujin.
I'm sure there's a lot of doujins based on that exact situation.
Yeah?
Yep. Yes.
Oh, do you know that for a fact, Yuki?
Yes.
Alright, good.
I will not I will not do comments about that because there are some good, but there are some twisted like Nagito Komaeda, um, chain up Hajime
What?
and do weird things, and also there was one that he I think cut Hajime's like arms and also legs, so he can get Hajime all by himself.
What? Wait,
So
cut his limbs?
yep.
You know what?
So yeah, it's there are some goods, but the rest of them are not really great.
Like, I'd imagine the only two types of Komaeda dojins you can make are, like, kind of sweet, innocent yaoi kind of thing about this nice boy, or, like fucking gore and just disgusting bondage shit.
Yeah, gender type of doujins. Yeah, they are not.
Is
not
Nagito your favorite character?
Ooh, fuck, I don't know. Like, it's very weird. I'm still trying to figure out what I actually think about the man. I would say that he is absolutely, without a doubt, the most entertaining of the Danganronpa 2 characters. Like, I think he's just the most entertaining one out of the two I've played, anyways.
That's fair. I mean,
And he has just such a weird, like, interesting philosophy to even where it's like it's nonsense and it's fucking crazy. It's so interesting and like kind of well explored that I can't help but think, okay,
like you
I can kind of see it.
Yeah.
I can kind of see it. It makes no sense, and if society was run like that, it would just be like anarchy and fucking maniacs running around killing each other in the name of hope. But I kind of see it.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's a pretty good villain. I mean, I think he's a better villain than Junko anyway, but I don't know. I know he's easily the most popular Danganronpa character, probably. I'll at least say he's the most entertaining one.
Oh, for sure.
Whether he's my favorite, maybe, I don't know.
I hate him, but also I it's like a love-hate relationship because I hate him. I despise him so much, but because of what he did to Nanami. But he's also it's like kind of like my feelings for Junko or maybe Adachi for Persona 4. Like, yeah, he or she is crazy. She made all this mess and blah blah blah. But she has like this charm, like Adachi does, and Komaeda is like kind of the same for me. Like I despise him so much, but also he's kind of he's not like that bad guy really.
Yeah, he has like a charisma to where you can like he's saying crazy shit, but it's like he's so kind of charming that you're just like, yeah, okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and he's like I really hate him, but also I'm kind of thinking like, oh well, it's not all of his fault about what happened and everything with Monokuma and Junko and everything. But he also killed my wife, so I despise him.
I mean, same.
I mean, he did try to like worsen what Monokuma did like times 2.
Yeah, like I can't even be that mad at the dude because the amount of shit he went through just to get Chiaki was like, okay, I kind of respect it.
That's why I also hate him because there was a point, I'm not gonna lie, there was a point that when I saw him like in that state, like all chained up or with the spear and everything.
The worst, like most brutal murderer.
Yeah, that was really gruesome, and he did that to himself. Is the thing.
Yeah, and I was thinking about, who could do that to Komaeda? Like, of course, everyone hates Komaeda in that point of the game and everything, but who got the gods or who despise him the most to do that kind of thing? And in some point, I really felt bad because of that. But in some point, that was like maybe Nanami did. Like Maybe she's like this character that is all good and all rainbows and sunshine, but he really needed to stop Komaeda, so she killed him. But I was like, nah, I don't think Nanami could. I mean, maybe she will kill Komaeda, but not in that way. So I
Not
was
like
like,
that, yeah.
yeah. So I was like, I don't know how to feel. I don't know what to think. So when the the investigation came to the conclusion about no, well, in this case, Nanami was the one who kind of killed Komaeda because of that bullshit bottle thingy throwing stuff. Um, I was really, really, really upset and sad, and I didn't know what to think. And that's why Sonia in that chapter is like the full reflection of what I was feeling in that moment in that chapter.
I mean, I also didn't know who the hell would like go so far to like do this much damage to him, and then you realize like the only person who do this much damage to Nagito is Nagito himself. And like the moment where you realize it was the fire grenades, it really was a not unsolvable murder that was just solved because it needed to be. But I don't think anybody would have been able to solve something like that under like normal.
Yeah,
games.
it's the perfect crime because it's technically a group killing, and like the rules of the system doesn't really account for that happening.
It was a group killing, and nobody was conscious of the idea of killing while it was happening. Also, that image where it's literally all of them on the culprit screen with Nagito.
Yeah, that was so good.
That's fucking cool. I saw that before I got to the chapter. Like, I didn't know what the next chapter was. I think it was like on chapter 2, and I saw that image. And I'm like, what the? Why is there like 5 people on there?
Yeah, what happened here? I'm pretty lucky because I didn't get spoiled on pretty much anything involving Danganronpa 2. The only things that I really knew was like I didn't know anybody who died or anybody who was the killer. The only thing I kind of knew is that like somehow Junko and some of the people from the first game get involved, but I didn't really know in what capacity. But other than that, it was like a pretty much fresh experience, which is amazing considering this game is like, what, 7 years old?
Yeah, it came out 2012, I think.
In the, I think it came in 29 in the PSP. Let me check that real quick.
Let me see, I have the wiki pulled up right here. Yeah, 2012.
Oh, nice. 2012 on the PSP?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I only played the 2 games in 2017. Like back to back, I played them like in October 1 and in November 2, and it was a fucking trip.
Yeah, I played Danganronpa 1 like many years ago. It must have been like 2015 or 2016ish. It was probably like 2015 in the like fan translation. And I didn't get around to Danganronpa 2 for years and years after. And I wish I did because I enjoyed it a lot.
Where would you put this game in comparison to the first one?
Oh shit, I don't know. Like, it's one of those things where it's been so long since I played the first one, my memory of it is pretty clouded. I feel like, all in all, I enjoyed them about the same. But I feel like I like the cast of 2 just a bit more.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, the cast of 2 is definitely more marketable anyway. And Nagito was like one of the best examples of that, I guess. In terms of like a cast. Like a cast that can manage to stay just as interesting as it was when the game started, despite having half as many of the people there.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised with like what the final group ended up being, because to me Sonya always screamed like murder bait. Like she was either gonna get killed or they were gonna pull the like I'm a psychotic princess kind of thing.
A lot of people thought that actually. I don't think anybody expected her to survive. I didn't expect Kazuichi to. No.
Oh yeah, definitely. Soda seemed like the kind of guy who was gonna like kill somebody.
There's also I actually thought he was. I thought I got spoiled that he was like a killer, because there's a lot of Danganronpa edits out there, and I saw like an edit of him as the quote unquote traitor. So I went into chapter 5 thinking he was the traitor, and like, okay, never mind.
Yeah. And, like, the thing about Danganronpa 1, looking back, is most of the people that are killers, like, do kind of look like people that would kill somebody, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas in 2, it's a lot more like, okay, who's it gonna be? Like, when it turned out Gundam was a killer, I was like, come on, dog. Like, for real?
I think that's the only time I've been able to sympathize. I could not sympathize. I've been able to think, like, I think I wouldn't be able to... I think I would have done the same thing.
Yeah, because they're starving to death in there.
That's like the one motive where, like, okay, that's actually fucked up.
Yeah, plus, like, him and fucking Nekomaru had, like, an honorable duel, pretty much. So it wasn't just, like, a murder. It was like, okay, we're gonna fight, one of us is going to be a killer, and then, like, fate will take it from there, because we're starving to death.
Gundam had to feed his hamsters, bro.
Yeah, man.
Shit. That's also, like, the perfect... That's also, like, a perfect murder. It's also a murder where fucking Nagito started doing his really annoyed shit, where he just started hating everybody all of a sudden and nobody knew why.
Yeah, he has such a disdain for fucking Hajime, which is really funny, because, like, he idolizes the Ultimates because they're like the shining example of what people should be, and then he, like, finds out that fucking Hajime is, like, the same thing as him. Like, they're just both nobodies, but Komaeda is like, you are scum. Like, you are worthless. It's like, you're the same guy. Like, neither of them belong here.
It was also really interesting playing as Nagito in chapter.
Yeah, that was cool.
Which I wish there was more of. Like, they even gave you that, like, very Zero Escape-esque, like, puzzle that you had to escape. Well, yeah, because Zero Escape. Where you had to leave from. Which, did you play that, or did you skip it?
I mostly skipped it.
Alright.
Like, see, I'm, like, I can't think so good. And so I was just like, hey, Monami, like, yo, what's the code, please?
I do wish they let you play a bit more as him, but that was an interesting part. Even the fact that Nagito refused to tell the audience the fucking clue he saw out the window.
Yeah, that shit drove me crazy, because I really wanted to figure out what was going on with that fucking building. And Komaeda's just like, no.
Even the fact that Nagito's the only one that goes, no, that's wrong, other than, like, Hajime and Chiaki that one time, says a lot about his mirroring of Makoto. I mean, he only did that in the first chapter. I mean, I kind of wish there was more showcasing Nagito, like, egging on the killers and helping, but he only does that in chapter 1.
Yeah, that shit's the most interesting, because he's playing both sides of the field. Like, to him, it's more about this weird concept of, like, who can outsmart the other people rather than, like, a pursuit of actual justice and the truth. It's very interesting. Like, he's totally willing to help the killer if it means the killer will win. It's very weird.
Who has the stronger willpower, I guess? Not willpower, like,
yeah.
Like, want for something? Who needs it more? Or who thinks they need it more?
What was your favorite chapter, and also the chapter that you maybe get bored or hated or anything?
See, for me, I think 5 was my favorite, just because, like, Komaeda and his insane scheme. I feel like the second one was my least favorite because of the game. Like, I found that to be a very weird, like, meta, roundabout kind of way of solving the case. And for me, it was hard to get interested in, like, these two weird, separate cases. Like, when you look back at it retroactively, it makes sense, but going through it, I was just kind of like, I don't care about, like, what's going on here.
I mean, I'd also agree that I can't even choose between 4 through 6 when it comes to favorite. I mean, okay, no, 4 probably my least favorite of those 3, but all of those are freaking high tier. For 5 and 6, it'd probably be one of those. I don't know which one. Nagito makes fucking 5, but there's so much shit in 6. But my least favorite would probably also be 2. More so because when I look back on that, more so the trial and I didn't really like the game. I don't think anybody liked the game. But I don't really see the point in the first half of that chapter where other than the fact that they wanted to have us solve a mystery that's in a video game. But, like, very little of what was talked about is relevant in the actual finding out the killer part of the
yeah,
mystery.
like, the actual case is fine.
Yeah.
But it just feels like the video game case within a case is just, like, another layer that wasn't really necessary.
I mean, you'll notice Danganronpa tries to like be very experimental with their killings. Like they try to make it seem like a more of a puzzle. Well, murder mysteries are already puzzles, but they try to make the actual solving like a puzzle. It like kind of how like in chapter 4 you have to figure out the actual structure of the building to figure out the murder.
Yeah.
Is what I'm trying to say. Like I mean, there's more of that in V3, I guess, but 2 had a good bit of it as well.
One thing that I really really like about the Danganronpa 2 game more than the first one. In the first game, not all the characters, but some of them I really didn't care. Like, I don't know, maybe my son or Sayaka died. I guess I care, but also don't. Then Leon was uh, like the one who killed Sayaka, but I didn't really care about him, and also, and so on, so on. So I really don't care for most of the characters in the first game. But,
Yeah.
But the one thing that I really like about the second game is because, like, first of all, the Teru Teru case, the first chapter. I was like, I really don't like this guy. He's like, so whatever. I actually joked about like, I hope he's the killer, or I hope that he got murdered or anything. So when he shows up as the first killer, I was like, okay, so yeah, I'm actually happy that he's going to die. But when he tells everyone his story of why he did it, like about his mom, and he wanted to help the her her work and everything, I was like, oh fuck, I cannot feel. I feel so sorry about this guy that he is going to die because he tried to help his mom. So in all of the chapters and all the characters that died in all the Danganronpa 2 game, I didn't feel. I actually feel sorry for all the even Mikan, like the how is it called, the Norse girl. I felt sorry for her because she has issues. She has a lot of issues. Even more if you do the social events with her. Like she, since childhood, she was tortured for her father. I don't remember actually, but she got really some issues. So when she shows up as the killer, I was like, okay, she's kind of crazy. But when you know about why she got really crazy, it was like, okay, it wasn't actually her fault. Her fault. So yeah, and in any of the all of the characters are of the Danganronpa 2 game are, I really like them all, even this guy Soda. So that's why I like more the Danganronpa 2 game than the first one. Even the V3 game, the other Danganronpa game. No, not most of them, but the characters are really cool actually also.
Did you feel bad when Nagito died?
No, kinda. I mean, not really, because I was I was confused at first, but then I was like, oh yeah, I I'm glad that he's dead, but also I was like, but I don't know. I some one day I hate him, other day I like him, but it's kind of, I don't know. I don't. He's there, and he will stay there. Maybe loving him, maybe hating him. He's just there for me actually.
See, I think this has been a lovely discussion about our boy Komaeda. I think I could talk about this fucker for like hours and hours and hours. He's just such an interesting, weird dude.
I mean, I think people have talked about him for years. I mean, even with a new game out, people still like are on Nagito, and I don't think people are gonna like forget about Nagito for a while. Like in a way, he's even like more talked about than fucking Monokuma and Junko are. I mean, he's also probably like the biggest example of why Danganronpa is so fucking ridiculous.
His hope actually got into real life with all of his character, and everything he did in the game.
Yeah, it kind of did. In some weird way, like, his weird philosophy, I think, has kind of leaked into the public, like, the Danganronpa fan base or whatever. And even me, he's got me thinking about a lot of things, you know? Just, like, weird philosophical shit about, like, hope and despair. And, like, I guess if it's okay to kind of be an insane, weird asshole, if it ends up benefiting, like, society as a whole.
Maybe, I guess. Maybe we all need that Komaeda in our lives, I guess. So we can do and not do some things, I think, I guess. But yeah, don't bomb any building or anything, please.
Yeah, don't blow anything up in the name of hope, please. Just like...
Yes, I mean, you can go ahead and do stuff for hope and everything, but please don't blow anything. Like,
yeah, don't blow anything up. Don't fucking kill yourself. Don't, like, get your friends to kill you. Like, just be a positive guy. Let's be like Komaeda, but don't do what Komaeda does. I think that's a good way to live.
Yeah, because even if you don't blow up things or do this or that, don't treat yourself like Komaeda does, because I think Nanami says that to him, like, you don't need to treat you, or maybe Monomi, I don't really remember. But someone said to him, like, you don't need, you shouldn't treat you like that, in like calling yourself trash and everything, because you are special, like everyone is special in his or her way.
Alright, well, thank you guys so much for joining me. This has almost been an hour. We've been talking about this fine gentleman.
Yeah, and I'm very sorry for my broken English.
No, your English is fine.
I usually don't speak English, as you can see, and also I don't know what to say about Komaeda, because it also has been like years since I played not really played, but also played the game. So, and I didn't read anything like I was supposed to do. So yeah, but yeah, it's kind of hard for me, because my like because language stuff. Maybe in Spanish I can talk, and I do actually talk about Danganronpa and other kind of like things, games, and everything in Spanish, of course. But yeah, I will try to get better at my English so I can talk like 4 hours about the Danganronpa or other kind of stuff.
Yeah, it sounds good. I would love to do some more, like, Danganronpa stuff with you. Especially now that I'm getting into it. Like, I'm planning on going through Despair Girls and watching the...
chances are...
3.
Already... Oh, nice.
Well, I don't have it, but it's a plan.
Listen, chances are, when you get to V3's ending, that'll be like the most divisive thing ever.
Oh, no.
Oh, I'm sure we'll have to talk about that at some point.
But I won't say anything other than that. But you'll know when you see it, and you've probably already seen it. You've seen people talk about that, so you'll know.
Right. So, do you find, lady and gentlemen, have anything you want to plug, like a Twitter or anything? I know Mr. Taco has a lovely channel.
Yeah, I got channel Hentai Umbrella, except, I'd like to make hentai videos, but YouTube's trying to remove them. They gave me a fucking copyright, not copyright, a guideline strike. Bastards. But no, check me out if you want. I think I make content that isn't horrible.
I do have a YouTube channel, but I don't upload anything on it. And my Twitter is only for anime TD, so you won't find anything like, oh, she's talking about this or that or whatever. There's only anime TD, and also some
purely anime titties.
Yeah, purely anime titties, and also jewelry stuff. So or maybe some fan art. But yeah, you can follow if you want to see anime titties, I guess.